Hey, everybody, guess what? It's Monday and not Tuesday. I just had a few minutes and I thought I would hop on here and give some quick training. This training today is all about Funnel Gorgeous, the FGF, or GoHighLevel. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I am going to just move my screens here so that I can keep track of everything. Somebody had raised a question. They're still paying for an outside calendar, plus they're spending all this money on their all-in-one. Hence, I thought I just have to hop on here and do this training video. So first thing is, whether you're using Funnel Gorgeous or Kartra or any of these all-in-one programs, revelation. The goal is for you to consolidate all of your tools. And there's no perfect situation out there, but let me tell you, when I meet with people and I do like a business assessment, what I find is that people are spending so much money on all of these additional tools, and you don't need to do that if you have a robust program like Funnel Gorgeous or GoHighLevel. Okay. So I just thought, stop the madness. Let me just jump in here real quick and just show you how easy it is. You know, we just hate change, all that kind of stuff, but it's super easy to set up. So I'm just going to peel back the curtain and show you that real quick. All right. So that's my goal for today. And it's not going to be a long training. So, and as always, if you're watching live, in order for me to see your name, you have to give StreamYard permission. But I'm always happy when somebody's here. Hey, Carla, so happy. Did I surprise you that I jumped on Monday instead of Tuesday? Anyway, I'm just trying to go with the flow, be more, I don't know, interactive. Here I am. You know, if I have a thought, I'm just going to jump on. So I am going to share my screen here. And if you're new to the funnel world, a lot of times, you know, if you're in Funnel Gorgeous, I'm going to move this screen over here. Let's see. Okay. All right. Hopefully everybody can see this. If you're new to Funnel Gorgeous, you might hear people talk about GoHighLevel. GoHighLevel is like the real company behind Funnel Gorgeous. Funnel Gorgeous white labels, but it's GoHighLevel that's the driving factor behind it. All right. So, we're inside my account here, and if you scroll all the way down on the left to where it says settings, and pretty much all of the little connections that you need are up here under settings. So if you go to calendars, now you'll notice that I have a bunch of calendars. Funnel Gorgeous has also given us some calendars, which is nice. When they roll out different products, they'll set up calendars. Once you see how easy it is to set these calendars up, then you're going to wonder, why did you wait so long? The couple things that I just want to mention: you can have just regular calendars that's no cost, and you can also set up calendars where people pay a fee. So when might you use that? So if you offer like one-time coaching, then they get on your calendar, and then before they can confirm it, they have to pay for that appointment. So that's a perfect scenario when it's like what we call a one-off. All right. You might have a calendar that's what I call the coffee chat, just a 15-minute introduction, or you might have a 30-minute. Okay. If you're coaching people and you want to give them like a 2-hour spot of time. All right. So there's all different kinds of calendars that you can set up. So we're going to just walk through creating a brand new calendar, and you're going to see how easy it is. So I'm going to click on new calendar. And you'll notice at the top that there's kind of like 3 little tabs or bubbles. You just walk through those and set it up. When I name the calendar, I like to name it in a way that makes sense so that when I'm looking at it, I can remember what that calendar is. And then if you're sharing it, I think that also shows that that it shows up. All right. So I'm just going to call this one-to-one business consultation. If it's a paid calendar, I just like to put the price up there mainly for my own memory so I can remember what in the world that calendar was. All right. So that's the name of it. It's a one-to-one business consultation, $198. And then under the description, you can make this as robust as you want. You can open up this. Did you know if you grab that little, if you see the little dash lines, you can open this up. So let me just write a real quick description. We will map out your business strategy overall plan. In this session, we will create your custom mind map for your business. Okay, that's good enough. The appointment title, notice it's using the little, what do I want to call them? Basically, they're placeholders. So the appointment title will use contact name. Okay. Carla has a question. Name the calendar with a statement that makes sense. Yes. And then put the price. Why not? Because I cannot remember what all these calendars are. All right. Under meeting location, normally I leave this blank, but you can also put in like your Zoom. If you have a personal Zoom meeting link, you can put that in, because then in the confirmation email, it will put that in there. For me, normally I just leave it blank, but I think that's a great idea to do that. All right. One more little tip that I want to mention, the color coding here, it's not just for pretty, but it also helps you, again, kind of keep track of what the appointment styles are, if so to speak. On my Google Calendar, which is a whole nother training session, I color code my appointments. So anything that connects with money, it's a green item on my Google Calendar. If it's like I don't know, like certain kinds of consultation or training, it's a banana color. If it's personal, it's the grape color, so forth. So you can do the same thing inside of here. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it a green because it is a paid calendar. And then I connect it to my Google Calendar. Now, so I'll select my Google Calendar. Within Google, you can have multiple calendars. I do everything off of my own one calendar, which is Dybovic, Debbie Dybovic. Debbie Starr Dybovic is my full name, in case you're wondering, little tidbit there. And then the sync option, you always want it just one way. All that means is anything that gets scheduled under Funnel Gorgeous will end up on your master Google Calendar. If you had it syncing both ways, anytime you created something on your other calendar, it would populate on this side, and you don't want to see that. So just leave it one way. And then we just save and continue. Then we go into the second tab here. Now, this is where you set the duration of this particular calendar, and then you can also set your office hours. Now, another reason that prompted me to create this, I've had 2 calendar questions this week. Somebody else said, can they have certain calendars only for certain days of the week? So kind of like office hours. My office hours are on Monday, for instance. And I build funnels for people right now. Any full day that I have, I make it open. But in the future, I might just do my full funnel builder projects on Monday and Wednesday, for instance. Okay. So you can have all of your days open, or you can pick specific days. It doesn't really matter. It's just for your brain, I guess, what makes sense to you. Some people, they like to know that on Mondays is their client appointment days. Tuesday is their funnel building days. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm jumping ahead here a little bit. So on the slot duration, because this really is like a 90-minute to a 2-hour appointment. In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and just call it a 2-hour appointment. Slot intervals, what that means is how do you want the appointment to show up on every half hour, like openings? So 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10, 10:30, or I could, if this was like a coffee chat and the appointment was only for 15 minutes, for instance, I might have the slot show up every 15 minutes, if that makes sense. All right. I'm going to change this back to 90 minutes just so you can get a better feel for this. So because this is kind of an odd type every 90 minutes, I'm going to make the slot in interval every 30 minutes. So people could get on my calendar starting at 9 or at 9:30 or at 10 and so forth. And then a buffer. Now, if you're booked out a lot, then I would certainly suggest putting a buffer in between your appointments. So I'll just put a 15-minute buffer. Appointments per slot. What does this mean? So I don't know, let's say that people have the option that they could have 2 segments of my coaching at one time. Then I could allow people to have 2 slots, 2 appointment slots. All right. Let me just check the questions here real quick. Okay. So perfect question here. Somebody said, if they, for the syncing, if you block off something on your Google Calendar, does it get sent to FGF so people can't book on it? So it's not so much that it doesn't get sent, but what I tell people is your Google Calendar is the master. All right. So that is your master calendar, kind of like mama's calendar in a family. She keeps track of everything. And if there's an open spot on the Google, then on the FGF side, then you can set that up. But if there's not an opening on the Google side, then it doesn't matter. They just can't get in. All right. It's going to make more sense in just a minute. But it was a great question, by the way. So just remember, Google is in charge. And so what I do is, instead of spending a lot of time thinking, okay, let's see, Mondays, let me see, or Tuesday, oh, did I have something scheduled? Don't even worry about that. Just make sure that you have it scheduled on your Google Calendar. And let's say you're going to go away next week, and Monday you don't want any appointments. On your Google Calendar, just mark that day off that you're busy. Easy, right? So then nobody can get on the calendar. So no double booking. So great question. So coming back up here, appointments per slot. I just normally leave it for 1, but just so you understand what that is. So if somebody wanted 2 sessions back to back, they could do that. Appointments per day. I just leave that. You don't have to, but you could restrict it. So let's say you're giving out, free coffee chats is what I like to call them, but you don't want the same person signing up 3 times that day. So you could restrict this if you wanted. All right. The very most important thing for me personally is this middle section, minimal scheduling notice. Everybody, you can't get on my calendar today. I always require a day notice. Now, rare occasions, if somebody reaches out and they've got an emergency, I might squeeze them in, because I like to know what's coming down the pike. Now, some people, they don't have a minimal scheduling. So this just means if you tried to book and I sent you my calendar link, you would not be able to get on today. You'd have to look 24 hours in advance. All right. So I always change that. The date range, what this means is, excuse me, there's kind of two rules of thought, but basically, do you want people to be able to go out the next 2 months or only the next 2 weeks to get on your schedule? And for the sense of urgency, it's always kind of nice to restrict it because it's that fear of missing out. Oh, well, I can only see the next 2 weeks. It just kind of prompts people to get on your calendar. All right. So that's what that is. Your office hours here. And again, what we're doing is we're setting this up only for this calendar. And remember, Google is in charge. So if you don't have an opening on the Google side, you won't be able to book it here anyway, regardless of what these hours are. For me, 9 o'clock is early enough for me for my calendar. Now, again, regardless of what Google is doing, I can say, okay, on Mondays, I'm available from 9 to 5 p.m. On Tuesdays, maybe, let's see if I can get my mouse to work here. Maybe I only want to be available from, where's my 30? From 12:30 p.m. to, and maybe I'll go a little later. Okay. Wednesday, excuse me, 9 o'clock. Thursday, again, I'll just change all of these. And Friday, actually, let's just, excuse me. I'm just going to come up here and take Friday off. So for this type of calendar, Monday through Thursday, Tuesday, I'm available in the afternoon. Now, if I wanted to add something else, I could click the hours and maybe I wanted to do, I don't know, like 9 to 10 o'clock at night, for instance. I could do that. All right. I hate it when all these pop-ups come up. All right. So let me just delete that. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Let me click the trash can. All right. Let me see. Okay. I think we're good. All right. So again, you just set all of this up however you want it. Just keep in mind that this is for this particular calendar. And then I'm going to save and continue. And now this, I'm not going to go into long detail, but you can embed a form. So you would just create a custom form. So again, if I wanted to get the details from people before they booked this calendar, I could link a custom form. Sticky contact just means if they're in your system or if their name and email has come across before, the system pulls that and it will remember it. So if I have the option to use sticky contact, I always do that. And now this is where you use the Stripe payment. So again, this is a paid an appointment. So 198? Yes, 198 US currency. And then this is the little disclaimer statement that shows up on their invoice. If I could type today. Okay. This is fairly new. And again, this is with GoHighLevel. You can put things, anything connected with payment, you can put it in test mode. And so what that means is no more sending those charges through Stripe and then having to refund it if you're testing your funnel. You can just set it up as test and then run through it and make sure everything works and then turn it on to live. All right. And then the calendar will automatically auto confirm. This is a good thing. In other words, you don't want to have to click saying, yes, I confirm this appointment. So just leave that. New appointment email notifications. I always turn this on. Again, if I could type. So all this means is once somebody gets on my calendar, then I'll get an email saying that that person has booked an appointment. You can also allow the Google Calendar to send invites. I don't. I just leave it as is. allow reschedule and allow cancellation. So again, I leave it on. You can turn it off so people have to notify you if they need to reschedule it. And then in this window, these are just additional notes. And again, the system is just pre-populating what those links are. All right. If you're running any kind of ad or custom code, you put that in there. And then at the very bottom, what do you want to happen after they make that appointment? You could redirect them to like a thank you page saying, oh, thanks for booking the appointment. Watch for emails, all that kind of stuff. Or you can just do this custom thank you message and thank you for your appointment. We'll contact you shortly. Please call our office, blah, blah, blah. All right. So I might say, I don't know. Watch your email for confirmation reminders. Okay. And then you just complete. It's that easy. And it took me all that time only because I'm talking so much, right? And now here's your calendar. Now, how do you share this calendar link with people? When you come up here where it says calendar code, you click on that. The key is you just need to, here, the drop down for calendar, you just need to find which calendar. And do you see how useful that is to put as much detail in if it's like a paid calendar versus free? Because if it's a paid session, you want to make sure that you grab the right link. So let me just click on that. And so then now it's showing this is the link. So let me just copy that link. If I was going to embed this on a web page or something, I would do that. And then let me just come up here and just paste that in. And so this is what would show up. And let me just, I'll just pick something random. And now notice my availability for this. The first one that I have available is on Wednesday. And then, and you can put in as much as you want here. Let me, and now do you see the person can't go any further? They have to put in their credit card or the appointment doesn't get booked. So I love using this because it kind of, how can I say it? They're almost ready. It's like, yes, I'm going to get on the calendar. And then they realize, okay, I just need to pay the money first, and then it will go through with the confirmation. So it is that easy to create your calendars. Now I went through a lot. Just go back and rewatch this. Just create a calendar right here. It's not going to hurt anything. Just create one and play with it. Create a paid one, create some free ones, and let me know how you get along with it. So let me just stop sharing my screen here and bring this back. And I keep losing everything. So let me know. Let me know what you do with your calendar. Okay. And if you want me to test it out or something, put it in the group. I'm happy to do that. And again, let me know what other things you're struggling with, how I can help you. And happy Monday. All right. That's it. Take care.